How's it going, everybody? Got a new video for you today. I feel kind of bad. Someone asked quite a while ago for a walk around explanation and a little showing of the CJ5, so sorry it took me so long, but here it is.
So take me on a trip, nah, trip. Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright. All these empty faces, we don't care about them tonight. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're the wheels that won't stop turning. I know we're acting stupid, being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we don't, it's the only way we know how to do it.
I bought this Jeep when I was 16, I think. It was a rusted piece of junk. Paid $300 for it. Collected parts over the years. It's pretty much a completely different vehicle now. The axles and the title and a lot of the little pieces are original, but the rest of it is from something else. It's a 1978 CJ5. This is from the AMC Jeep era. It's been through many different forms. I think this is probably my favorite because it's the most practical. I used to have it lifted. I had 35s on it and a V8, and over the years it's just kind of morphed into this. So in 2006 I painted it. This was a glossy olive color. Now it's kind of getting some patina on it just from sitting out, so it's kind of got some character. It has a Mercedes OM617 5-cylinder turbo diesel. I did that swap back in like 2011, I think, back when gas was super duper expensive. It gets about 27 miles to the gallon on a good day, but it's been very reliable. Does not have much power. It runs good, but in low gears and stuff in the woods it's great, but it's definitely not overly blessed with power. They're rated at like 120 horse, but just with the design of those old turbos, it's very sluggish in the lower RPM, so keep that in mind if you're going to do a swap. The rear axle is an AMC 20, and I know a lot of you don't like them, but they do have some good attributes. I've gusseted this one and welded the tubes to the center section, so it's a little stronger there. I think it has 373 gears or somewhere in that area. I cut this axle down myself. It's now an offset. This isn't from a Quadra Trek or whatever they're called. This was a center differential. I cut it and got different axles so that I could run a Spicer 18 transfer case with an overdrive, because this model would have had a Dana 20 with a center differential. So that was a project I did after the diesel swap. It does have flanged one-piece axles. And these are Krager 69 series 15x7 wheels with 32-inch Kendas. I think it's a pretty good fit for the height of the vehicle. Up front, it's just got a stock Dana 30 with matching gears and a set of worn hubs. I have a set of Dual-O-Matics I had on for years, but then I got these and put them on. They've been good ever since. Inside, my dear wife, got me these seats when she was still my girlfriend. They've been in here ever since. I think they're Smitty built, and they're comfy. When I go from driving the Willys to this, it's like, oh man. But they wouldn't look quite right in the Willys. That's the original seat from the Jeep I bought when I was 16. And it's still doing the job. Got a best top super top, just with the original roll bar. I have the doors, they're just off. It's pretty hot here today. Got this from 4-Wheel Parts or something. I don't know. It's kind of handy. It's squishy diamond plate, kind of cheesy, but it does the trick. It has a T18 4-speed, the old style, with a reverse up and over. So that's fun. That was one of the best mods I ever did. I did that back when I still had the V8. It had a T150 3-speed, and it couldn't crawl to save its life. It just bounced over stuff. So has the nice low gear in it. Now this is the luxury model, so it has the Pioneer CD player. Feels luxurious when I come from driving around the Willys. The dash is pretty much stock, except I added a boost gauge, so we have a VDO boost gauge. Notice it only goes to 15. This old turbo, it might hit 15 at real high RPM, but it's usually in the 0 to 8 range. And then I have a pyrometer as well. It's a VDO gauge. Then I have my nice little thermometer from Target. And I think other than that, it's pretty much stock. This has a vacuum shutoff valve. So this is an actual, just diverts vacuum from the vacuum pump to the injection pump. And that's how you shut it off. So it's also good theft protection, because unless that switch is in the run position and timed right with starting it, this is the glow plug switch, the manual, it won't start. So another thing I always do too is I just pull the transfer case in neutral sometimes, and then most people would have no idea how to make it go from there. So starting procedure for this thing, so you turn the vacuum valve to run, turn the key on. If it's cold out or it hasn't run in a little while, you can hit the glow plugs for a little bit and then start her up. Sorry if this video is getting long, but I'm guessing everybody wants to see under the hood. This is a bumper I made years ago. It had this little centerpiece from there to there. I think that was the original Jeep bumper that was bolted to this. And then I added these from an old roll bar. Added some D-rings, and then I had a winch on it back when I used to off-road with it a lot more, but then when I got the Willys, I put that winch on that. So it has an oil cooler for the engine. I think I got that from Jegs. It's just like a universal one. And then here is the engine. It's not pretty. This one's not all shined up like the Willys engine bay. But it has been an extremely reliable, easy to work on, easy to maintain engine. I have not replaced anything major on it. I did a water pump and filters, and I keep good fuel in it. I've had to replace these return lines a few times. If you guys do diesel swaps and you have the return lines on the injectors, go to your hardware store and get Tygon. I think it's Tygon chainsaw or weed whacker fuel line. This stuff outlasts any of that expensive braided German junk. So I don't remember the size. Just take a piece of it in there and show them. I think I pay $1 a foot for this stuff, so it's not that expensive. And this has been on here for like 4 years. The braided stuff I got from the foreign places just doesn't hold up. So did a power brake conversion. That's out of a 95 YJ. It had manual brakes. I also did a power steering conversion that I just stole out of another CJ5 that had a power steering option. That is very nice to have. The Jeep power steering lines threaded right into the Mercedes pump, and they're not cross-threaded. I mean, it was a perfect fit. I didn't change anything. I think I did shorten the return line, which is a low pressure line. You can just cut it and there's a hose clamp on it. So that's a very easy conversion. If you want to do a diesel swap, this is probably one of the easiest engines to swap. No electronics. All the wires you see there are just the Jeep stuff. It has nothing to do with the engine. The only wires the engine has are for the glow plugs. And I got rid of the relay and just have a manual solenoid, and that's just 5 lines, one for each glow plug, and then the power, and that's it. So throttle cable, and fuel lines, coolant hoses, and exhaust. That's it. Super simple. If you have the space for the 5-cylinder, very easy swap. I have a 4-cylinder in the garage, so that would even fit better in a flat fender, but it's much less power than this. So you can see I have quite a bit of room to move it forward even more. And there's the turbo. Upgraded to, I don't know what size these are. 1 gauge? Yeah, 1 gauge. Starts a lot better. These things take a lot of juice to start. They have a lot of compression. It is the CJ5 starter. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So that's the Jeep. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Hope I didn't forget anything. Let me know if you have questions, and definitely all right, that is it. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you have questions and any other ideas for future videos. Let me know. Hopefully we'll get driving this thing more, and the blue one as well. So hope you're having a great week, and talk to you soon.